But if he tells that to the wrong kind of people that he's close to, with, bless you, and circles of friends with, are they going to say the same thing? And you're like, you're an idiot. What are you thinking about that? Is that true?
True.
And so we got to come in here and inoculate people fast, and the best way we can do that is get them paid. It's the best thing we can do. Because without getting paid, if they sit here for a month, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and they're like, how much money have you made with that company yet? And like Harry's like, I haven't made anything. They're like, okay, obviously it's not working, and it allows the negative people to seep in even more and start messing with your own personal psyche, because you're only as strong as you can be, and then that's why you got to keep coming back to fill up your tank, right? Because the rest of the week, they kind of bring you down a little bit, you come back, your tank gets full, you go back down again. So this is why this works so well. So how we get people paid, who's brand new today? Who's brand new? Give William a big, huge hand. That's awesome. It's so simple, William. Here's what we do, okay? So Susan, come on over, just stand right here, it'd be great. Okay, Richard, why don't you come stand right here? And Scott, why don't you come stand right here? Is it possible, William, that you know 3 people to the business? That's okay, but just in general, is it possible when you see it visually, it's only 3 people. It's 3 people, maybe he's sick and tired of being sick and tired, overworked, underpaid, wants to have an opportunity. So he becomes a member and an associate. Is it possible that Susan, right, has teenage drivers, drives like a teenager, right, ready for retirement, wants some extra income? And is it possible that Scott over here is looking at, funding a wedding maybe, making some extra income, worried about getting his wills done? Is it possible you can find 3 people in the whole wide world? Okay, is this better visual for you? 3 and only 1 has to join you in the business. You're going to make $300. Give them a big, huge hand. And that's my favorite thing. Folks, we're not splitting the atom here. We're showing information. You show information, I all but guarantee you to 6 people, 3 will get started. If you do it right. If you throw up all over them, if you do it wrong, because smart people get this. And so we're going to click through one more. Hopefully, and you do that in 2 weeks, you know you're going to get your $300 extra bonus. But here's how we stay through the negativity. Here's how we stay through the people that are the crabs holding you down in the pot. Here's how you stay centered is your why. And I heard this said one time. We had a negative person that was just being really horrible. And they said to me, listen, the people who are negative in your life, they're not on your why, are they? So who cares what they say? And so this is the most important thing to me ever that kept me going. Look, when I got started in prepaid legal services, I was very blessed to make an incredible income. And so, quite frankly, I was comfortable. Has anybody ever been comfortable in prepaid legal? Right? And so what happens is you don't work as hard as you should. You don't do the things that you should be doing because it doesn't matter. It's easy to do, it's easy not to do, and I wasn't suffering. And I'm always reminded of this story where they talk about the farmer's dog, right? Farmer's dog sitting on the porch just howling like crazy. Ooh, howling, howling, howling. The neighbor a few acres away is finally like, what is wrong with that dog? Jumps on the tractor, runs over to the farmer's house, and says, seriously, what is going on with your dog? He just keeps screaming day and night. It's driving me crazy. Farmer says, well, he's sitting on a rusty nail. And the neighbor says, why is he sitting on a rusty nail? Doesn't he just get up? He said, I guess it just doesn't hurt bad enough yet. So how many of us are just sitting here howling, but not willing to do anything about it? And this is where if you have a big why, you won't sit around and howl anymore. And there's only 2 things that motivate us. We're either pushed by pain or we're pulled by pleasure. And what do you think us, as just American people here, are mostly motivated by? By pain. Right, that's why people don't quit smoking right away, because they know eventually it's going to kill them. But it's so far away, the pain is, that the pleasure is more immediate, so they keep doing what they're doing. But if you knew that if you smoked 1 cigarette, you'd have lung cancer and die, wouldn't you quit today? It would be the immediate pain. And so all of us right now need to think about what is it that hurts us. I think the Y stands for what hurts you. What hurts you? Why are you here right now instead of watching Dancing with the Stars, instead of being in front of a warm fire, right, with that snowing outside? That's so cool. That's just the coolest thing ever. I like the snow. We don't get a whole lot of snow in our area in California. Tahoe they do, but not here. So what hurts you? Why are you here? Is it because you're sick and tired of missing the soccer games for the kids? Why are you here? Are you sick of always saying no to everybody about everything? Nope, sorry, I can't go with you to the movies, I don't have the money. Nope, you can't get that new shirt today to some, like your kids because I can't afford it. How many people are just tired of saying I can't afford it? Right? Write this down. This is everything that we talk about here that you hear something that pertains to, you're going to want to write it down, because I don't know what it is that hurts you. For me, it was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I had to remember the pain of getting up when it was dark, going to work when it was dark, and I'm thinking, I'm a young woman. This was 8 years ago. I'm not quite as young now. But think about it, thinking this is going to be a horrible way for me to live. I'm going to age myself really old if I keep working this hard. People aren't meant to work that hard. People are meant to live their dreams and think and be free. And so what is it that hurts you? You know, maybe people are tired of not tithing at their church. What is it that hurts you? And of course, there's things that are going to be drawing us by pleasure, but let's talk about the things that hurt you, because that was the immediate reason why I got started. It wasn't that I got started because, woohoo, I'm going to make 6 figures for breathing. I got started because, man, I got to do something different. What I'm doing is not working. So what is it that you're looking for? You know, what is it that you want out of your life? And most people aren't even asked that. So few people are even thinking. Do you know that we spend more time, this is so sad, picking out a birthday card for a friend or relative and thinking about what we really want in life? Right? We just do what people tell us to do. When was the last time you did something on purpose for you? Maybe you want to be an author. Maybe you want time to be able to go on vacation. Maybe, what is it that you want? We have people that said, listen, I haven't been on a vacation in 20 years. I just want to go on vacation. What is it that you want? And so is it you want a house? Do you want to be out of debt? Do you want to send your kids to private school? Do you want to be able to purchase a new car that's a safe vehicle? You know, you guys have terrible roads out here. It looks kind of scary. You want a safe vehicle out here for sure. What is it that you want? Do you want to be able to build churches in Africa? What is it that you want? And so I'd like to ask some people here just to share with us, what is it that you want? And you're in a safe environment. So here's all I'm going to tell you. If you, one, can't write it down, it's never going to happen. But number two, if you can't proclaim it, and especially in this kind of warm and fuzzy environment where we're all going to say, you go with your bad self, then you're never going to be able to make it. Does that make sense? So please don't be shy here. We've got an intimate group, and so you can have the safety of sharing why you're here. Why are you here? Who wants to tell me why they're here? Just raise your hand.
I want to be debt-free so I can do ministry.
Debt-free so you can do ministry when you want.
I want to stretch
A stretch Escalade, okay?
I want to, as Cartina Phoenix says, stop being a sharecropper. Working for someone else.
You want to stop working for somebody else. That's
All
awesome.
my hard work, I want to go.
All of her hard work to go for her as opposed to making somebody else rich. I love that. What else?
I want to visit my brother and his daughter in Ecuador more often.
Awesome. That takes money. Doesn't everything take money? Gladys, did you want to say one?
I want my husband to work in the same state I am and do perfectly legal.
Wow. Have a family, have your husband be working in your same state. That's huge. What else?
I'm going to take all my kids and my grandkids to Disney World for a week, all expenses paid, and at the end of the time, there's going to be more yeses are out there.
I love it. Well, we were reading the book. I was talking to Chris. I've been rereading a book, What You Say When You Talk to Yourself. It's an old book. And the average person hears 148,000 no's by the time they're 18. Right? So here's some more yeses. I love it. Does someone over here want to share?
Time freedom with my kids.
Time freedom with their kids. Yeah, I didn't have a father growing up. He was there, but he didn't have any time, right?
I want to go with Anna.
Well, I'm picturing Anna. I love it. Anybody else want to share?
You can do the suits.
Be able to give my kids things that I couldn't have when I was a kid.
Give kids things you couldn't have. Absolutely. What else? Anybody else want to share?
I want to get a Mustang and be able to help other people.
Woohoo! What color is your Mustang?
Yellow.
Yeah, she thought about that a little bit, huh? I like it.
I want to take a 2-week home vacation in Italy and take my whole family.
2 weeks in Italy with your entire family. Anybody else?
I want to be there for my kids, but not like coming back to my gas. I want to be able to time.
Be with the kids. I hear a lot of family, yes.
I want to prove to everybody that says I can't do it, that I can do it.
That was a big one for me. I used my haters as my fuel. I love that. And I'll tell you now, because I had a lot of people that made fun of me. I was making really good money, and so they were making fun of me about making $500 a month in my little part-time, hobby, they would call it. And so it's been interesting now, because when you have a 6-figure income from home, it's a different kind of money. And a lot of my friends now that were making fun of me are like, wow, that thing's really working for you. Yeah, but imagine if I'd quit, they would have said, oh yeah, those things never work. So I had this whole, I had to make it work, just for the fact of all those negative and the haters. I totally agree. And you know what's also interesting about that? You often think you're going to go and throw it in their face, and you don't, because you actually feel sorry for them. So it was interesting. I have a girlfriend who started with me at the same time who quit, and she said, remember that story about frogs in a pot? And I said, yeah. She said, remember they said they don't jump out if the water starts to boil because they're kind of comfortably boiling in their own skin, right? And they die. And she goes, that's where I'm at right now. I wish I would have stayed with prepaid legal. And I said, it's never too late. And she said, it's already too late. And I just think that's so sad, you know what I mean, that you've already given up. And so I really thought, because she was my first quitter, that I would go and flaunt it to her, you know, how many vacations, all the cool lifestyle. And I couldn't. I mean, the things that you think you're going to do when you arrive are different, because I just felt so horrible for her. So you're right, yes, do it for the haters. What else? Anybody else?
I was wanting to be able to spend my retirement years with a companion that has similar interests, so I would go prepaid legal and my future husband.
I love it. So what is your why now? So now you got part of it, right?
Well, we're traveling, we're doing what we want to do together, we have the same interests.
Well, good stuff. And the tax write-offs are pretty fantastic. So good stuff. Anybody else want to share? So I just want you to write these down, because if you don't write them down, you don't proclaim it, I guarantee it's never going to come true. So I just want you to look at your partner right now. If you haven't already shared with them, look to just turn to your partner, I don't care who your partner is, and just quickly tell them what your #1 reason why, because some of you did not share here, you're not getting out that easily. So look to your partner, and just tell them what you want, and we'll switch here in a second. Did you guys switch? Everybody switch?
Well, you can slave.
That's fantastic. All right, so I want you to look at your partner right now, and on the count of 3, you're going to say, yes, you can. Are you ready? Look at your partner square in the eye, and on the count of 3, tell him, 1, 2, 3. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Okay. Because he shared with me. So, how many people just feel better now that you got that off your chest? You should see your faces now. You guys are actually smiling. Before I walked in there, everyone was a little grumpy and tired from getting here from work, and you know, I got to shake a little out of that out of here today. But how many people learn something about somebody sitting next to them that was important to them? And so I want you to encourage you at the break to exchange phone numbers with these people, get their information, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to encourage you to try to sit with new people every time you come to training, because you already know these people. And if you can't meet somebody new in a training when everybody's already in, I'm concerned you may not be able to meet people out there that are not in. So make it a habit of meeting new people in here, make it a habit of sitting with new people and sharing what it is, because it was those types of relationships that kept me on track. In fact, we did this one time in LA. She actually is a little bit retired, but it was interesting. It was Deborah Otten Gomez, and she and I shared once, and this was like 8 years ago. And so now, 7 years into the process, she came up to me at one of the conventions, and I had signed her book with, you know, Yes You Can, and my name and her number and everything, and I wrote my goal in her book and vice versa. She made me a photocopy of my page that I had written in her book, and she handed it to me like 7 years later. And it was outlandish, and just to be able to see that again. So I'm going to encourage you to write these in your books. These are going to be, you know, you're going to journal your journey, and if you're not writing them in your books, I look at my books all the time. I look at my volumes of 2006, and I look at what my why was back then. Is it going to change a little bit? Yeah, because in the beginning it was really small. I mean, I could barely see anything outside of what I was currently doing, and then now as it just starts to expand, I mean, shoot, you got, Chad doesn't want to just own a plane, he wants to have somebody else charter it and ride him around in it. Like, that's totally cool, you know what I mean? I thought just cool to have a plane. He's like, no, I'm going to get a pilot to fly me around. Like, that's really cool. So be sure that you help people understand this, and when you're new people, you're sitting down with them doing a game plan like this, don't allow them to just say, I want to earn more money. Because that doesn't mean anything. I could give you $1, is that more money? How much money? What is the money for? get to the heart of this. Sometimes we let people off the hook a little bit too much, and then you can't figure out why they don't return phone calls anymore. And once you have somebody's